Adrian Newey's shift from Red Bull to Aston Martin is poised to redefine the future of Formula One. Newey, widely regarded as F1's greatest car designer, has crafted championship-winning machines across multiple decades. But what does his move really signify for Aston Martin, Red Bull, and the future landscape of Formula One? Let's break down what could be the most significant decision in recent F1 history. Adrian Newey's name is practically synonymous with success in Formula One. With 12 constructors and 13 drivers' titles to his credit, his designs have left an indelible mark on the sport. His move to Aston Martin is a bold step, but can he still bring his magic to a team looking to break into the elite? Newey's career spans several of F1's most dominant teams: Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull. He revolutionized aerodynamic design, especially during his time at Red Bull, where his cars dominated the sport between 2010 and 2013. Red Bull's double diffuser innovation was a stroke of aerodynamic brilliance that left competitors scrambling to catch up. "Newey has a nasty habit of winning championships," said Martin Brundle, acknowledging the sheer impact of Newey's presence in any team. His move to Aston Martin is being hailed as the key piece that could turn the team from midfield contenders to championship challengers. Aston Martin, led by Lawrence Stroll, is betting heavily on Newey's expertise to capitalize on the upcoming 2026 regulations, which will overhaul engine, aerodynamic, and chassis designs. Newey is known for his ability to interpret and exploit new rules better than anyone in the paddock. With Newey at the technical helm, is this the piece that will finally unlock Aston Martin's potential? Or is it asking too much of one man to carry a team? We'll now explore the immense pressure this brings to Aston Martin and how they plan to manage it. Aston Martin's future is brighter than ever, but with Adrian Newey on board, expectations are sky high. However, delivering success in F1 is rarely a straightforward journey. Can Aston Martin live up to the lofty ambitions and Newey's legacy? Since Lawrence Stroll took over the former Force India team, Aston Martin has gradually transformed, but they are yet to make the leap into F1's top echelon. The 2023 season showed promise, especially with Fernando Alonso securing podiums early in the year. Yet as the season progressed, they struggled to keep pace with Red Bull and Mercedes. Newey's arrival changes the game, but with his addition comes immense pressure. As Martin Brundle said, "If you've got Adrian Newey on board and you don't win, you've wasted Adrian Newey." The challenge lies not just in Newey's ability to design a car, but in whether the entire Aston Martin structure can elevate itself to the level of Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. They have the facilities, but do they have the operational depth to extract the most from Newey's designs? The spotlight now falls on Aston Martin's infrastructure. It's not enough to just have a visionary designer. You need the resources, consistency, and personnel to execute. This is where Aston Martin could face their biggest test yet. Will Aston Martin rise to meet these lofty expectations, or will they crumble under the weight of Newey's legacy? Let's now examine a critical piece of the puzzle: Adrian Newey's relationship with Fernando Alonso and how it could shape Aston Martin's future. In Formula One, the synergy between a driver and the technical team can make or break a championship bid. Fernando Alonso and Adrian Newey, two of the sport's most respected figures, finally get the chance to collaborate. Could this be the partnership that Aston Martin needs? Fernando Alonso has long been regarded as one of the sharpest drivers on the grid, praised for his adaptability and racecraft. Throughout his career, he has battled against Newey-designed cars, most notably during his championship fights against Red Bull in 2010 and 2012. Now, for the first time, Alonso will get to drive a car designed by Newey himself. Newey recently admitted, "We've battled against each other for so many years. He's been a bit of an arch-enemy at times." For Aston Martin, this is a potentially game-changing partnership. Alonso's hunger for victory, even at 42 years old, hasn't diminished. His aggressive driving style and ability to extract every ounce of performance from a car make him the ideal driver for Newey's designs. Yet, time isn't on Alonso's side. If Newey can deliver a competitive car, Aston Martin could have a legitimate shot at the title. But they must act fast. Alonso's window of opportunity is shrinking. Will the Alonso-Newey partnership deliver Aston Martin their first championship? Or will time run out before Alonso can return to the top step of the podium? Next, let's dive into why Newey chose Aston Martin over Ferrari, a decision that shocked many in the paddock. When Adrian Newey's exit from Red Bull was announced, many assumed he would join Ferrari. With their storied history and resources, it seemed like the perfect destination. So why did Newey opt for Aston Martin over Ferrari? Ferrari is the dream for many engineers and drivers in Formula One. The allure of Maranello, the legacy of being part of the prancing horse, and the chance to restore Ferrari to its former glory were powerful incentives. However, Newey chose Aston Martin, a move that surprised many. Newey's decision might be explained by Ferrari's notorious internal politics. Ferrari has been a notoriously difficult team for creative minds to flourish in, with recent examples like Mattia Binotto and James Allison leaving after struggles with the team's upper management. Even Ferrari boss Frédéric Vasseur admitted they couldn't come to terms with Newey. He probably had a different idea than what I had in mind for him. At Aston Martin, Newey has more creative freedom and fewer constraints. Lawrence Stroll has given him the reins to build the team as he sees fit, something Ferrari likely couldn't offer. Newey thrives in environments where he has control, and Aston Martin's blank slate could have been far more appealing than Ferrari's rigid structure. Did Newey dodge a bullet by avoiding Ferrari's political minefield, or did he miss out on restoring one of F1's greatest teams? Let's now look at how Newey's exit affects Red Bull, and whether this marks the end of their era of dominance. Adrian Newey's departure from Red Bull signals the end of an era for a team that has dominated Formula One for over a decade. But what does this mean for Red Bull moving forward? Can they continue their success without the man who built it? Newey's influence at Red Bull has been profound. From their first championship win in 2010 to the continued dominance with Max Verstappen, Newey's designs have consistently outpaced the competition. Christian Horner acknowledged this, saying, "The cars we've produced and the championships we've won wouldn't have been possible without Adrian's vision." While Red Bull still has a strong technical department, including figures like Pierre Wash and Ben Hodgkinson, there's no replacing a mind like Newey's. Max Verstappen expressed his disappointment, stating, "I would have liked for Adrian to stay. Last year we had the most dominant car ever. We have to turn it around now." The 2026 regulation changes loom large over the team. Red Bull's ability to adapt without Newey will be a critical test of their long-term viability as a championship contender. With Newey now at Aston Martin, Red Bull could face stiffer competition than ever before. Will Red Bull's dominance fade without Newey's guidance, or can they maintain their place at the top? And could Aston Martin, with Newey at the helm, lure Max Verstappen away? Let's explore the possibility of Verstappen joining Aston Martin in the future. With Adrian Newey now leading Aston Martin's technical team, the prospect of Max Verstappen joining the team in the future seems more plausible than ever. Could Newey's presence be enough to lure Verstappen away from Red Bull? Max Verstappen has enjoyed unparalleled success with Red Bull, securing multiple world championships and breaking numerous records. However, Verstappen has also voiced his frustrations when the car hasn't met his standards. With Newey now at Aston Martin, the Dutch driver might see the team as an attractive option if Red Bull falters. Verstappen is contracted with Red Bull until 2028, but performance clauses in his contract could allow him to leave earlier if the team's performance dips. With Newey's expertise, Aston Martin could present itself as a serious contender, and Verstappen might consider a move. However, there is a significant obstacle: Lawrence Stroll. Lawrence Stroll has heavily invested in his son's F1 career, and moving him aside for Verstappen would be a difficult decision. But if Aston Martin truly wants to compete for championships, could Lawrence make the tough call to replace Lance with Verstappen? Could Verstappen be the missing piece that elevates Aston Martin to F1's top tier? Only time will tell. But with Newey's arrival, Aston Martin is certainly in the mix for F1's future star drivers. Adrian Newey's move to Aston Martin could be one of the most significant moments in modern Formula One. With the right resources and support, Newey has the potential to transform Aston Martin into a championship contender. But can the team rise to the challenge and deliver results, or will Newey's magic finally run out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.